All right, guys, we went through the top 10 running backs in week 16. Now we're going to go through the top 10 wide receivers in week 16. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here. The number one wide receiver in week 16 is going to be Davante Adams. He is taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Davante had a down week in week 15, right? Like, he was very unimpressive. Not a good start to the playoffs for Davante Adams. But that's because that Bill Belichick took him out of the game. Bill Belichick is known for doing that with the New England Patriots. They take away your best weapon. Pittsburgh can't step on nosebleed through the air. Davante Adams is going to light the Steelers secondary on fire. My number two wide receiver in week 16 is Justin Jefferson. He is taking on the New York Giants, man. You just never doubt this man, right? You can never doubt Justin Jefferson. He might be a little bit limited with that chest injury that he picked up on Saturday in week 15, but he is going to see lots of volume, and you just cannot leave Justin Jefferson outside of the top three. The number three wide receiver in week 16 is going to be Stefon Diggs. He is taking on the Chicago Bears, man. Stefon Diggs also had a down week in week 15, but it never happens 2 weeks in a row for Stefon Diggs. Buffalo is playing for home field advantage right now, and Chicago is not playing for anything. Stefon Diggs is going to do great things in week 16. The number four wide receiver in week 16 is going to be Tyreek Hill. He is taking on the Green Bay Packers. Tyreek Hill is just always a big play threat, right? Like, you can never count him out for getting a big touchdown. He has scored a touchdown in 5 of his last 6 games as well. Miami is desperate for a win here, and they will need Tyreek Hill to come up big for them. And I expect him to come up big in week 16. The number 5 wide receiver in week 16 is going to be AJ Brown. He is taking on the Dallas Cowboys, man. Mr. Big Play himself, right? This game here is going to determine the division and likely if Philadelphia gets home field advantage or not. Philadelphia is going to need their best players to come up big in this game, and I expect that exactly from AJ Brown here in week 16. The number 6 wide receiver for week 16 is going to be DK Metcalf. He is taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is my sort of low-key start of the week here, although I think a lot of people know that DK is going to be great this week. He's going to be without Tyler Lockett on the other side of that field, which means that DK is going to see a ton of volume in week 16. He also draws a great matchup versus Kansas City. Everything just makes sense here, and that is why I think that DK Metcalf is going to be a top 6 wide receiver in week 16. The number 7 wide receiver in week 16 is Jaylen Waddle. He is taking on the Green Bay Packers as well. Jaylen Waddle has been a little bit weak over the past month, right? Like, he's been really hit or miss, but he ended up with a big touchdown play in week 15 that really skewed his numbers. The reason I like him here is because it is a must-win for Miami. They are going to unleash their 2 best playmakers on offense in this game in order for them to secure a win versus the Green Bay Packers. So I expect Jaylen Waddle to have a big game as well. The number 8 wide receiver in week 16 is going to be Ja'Marr Chase. He is taking on the New England Patriots, man. I gotta be honest here, I am a little bit worried about this particular one versus the New England Patriots for Ja'Marr Chase. New England is known for shutting down your number 1 offensive threat. Davante Adams just got shut down by New England here in week 15, so I could envision a world where that happens to Ja'Marr Chase as well. But Cincinnati is fighting still to lock up that division in the AFC North, and Ja'Marr Chase is just too electric to leave off of the top 10, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that he will get a big play here in week 16, and that's why he makes the list. Coming in right behind him at number 9 is going to be T. Higgins, also playing the New England Patriots. T. Higgins right behind his buddy Ja'Marr here in week at number 9. It's just a good bet because if my theory about Ja'Marr Chase is correct, T will get a lot of targets and a lot of work. And he is also just too good to leave out of this list most weeks than not. The number 10 wide receiver in week 16 is going to be Amon Ra St Brown. He is taking on the Carolina Panthers here. Amon Ra is a little too touchdown dependent when it comes to making the top 10, but he has missed the end zone lately, and I like his chances in this matchup. Deontay Johnson, of all people, just ripped up the Carolina Panthers secondary, so we can see Amon Ra St Brown getting a lot of work and really ripping up the Panthers here as well, since Deontay did it just last week. It's a must-win game for Detroit here as well, so they're going to be fighting for playoff seeding, so I expect to see a very, very healthy dose of Amon Ra St Brown here in week 16. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you play fantasy football, and like the video for me if you enjoyed it. And if you are looking for the top 10 running backs here in week 16, click on this video right here and click the link in the description to support the channel.